Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts. Because you cunts all want everybody to love you. I don't want anybody to love me. I don't want anybody to even fucking like me. Do you think Donald Trump gives a shit what you think of him? Do you think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, gave a shit? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg gives a shit? Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem.
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret. 36 of those chains secret. And 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
But first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence of
Nothing was
tremendous amount.
classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my gosh.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was the mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top
It wasn't
secret.
the best choice.
6 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
With respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top
It was not a good choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Honey, someone's going to the house. Someone's going to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you calling Pops? I'm gonna call Pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first, robbing us, or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
The trifecta. We're from Los Angeles.
Just moved to Texas.
I figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, and the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
Okay. Well, you seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. They're, I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly, like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make-believe, like superheroes or families that go to church.
No, that's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany. She, her.
And I'm Steve, he, him.
What are your pronouns?
I don't believe in pronouns. I think they're reductive. In fact, just your asking about it is a microaggression.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. I like all pronouns. My favorite is you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly. So, if you need anything, just holler. My wife and I'd be happy to help.
Baby, he has a gun.
I'm calling the cops.
I'm recording you.
No.
All right, has anyone noticed this trend among some of our government experts lately? It starts off with them telling you a thing. If you question the thing, you will be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. It then turns out later that the thing that they told you wasn't quite as true as they promised you it would be. And when you point this out, they revert to telling you that, well, they never told you the thing that they told you. And then when you show them incontrovertible proof that they did in fact tell you the thing that they told you, they just suggest that you should be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. I can't imagine why we don't trust these guys.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody.
What's happening, Chuck?
What's going on? Hey, Ship.
Fucking
Hey,
headache.
Rudy. Hey, Sharon, Jen, Robin. Let's see. Hey, Ben. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Sheila. Kay. Hey, how you go? How's it going? Let's see. Who else is in there? Lee. Hey there. Don't know if I see anybody else. Let's see. I think. Hey, the Ridge Runner. I think I covered everybody. Hey, Anna. Anybody else? Hey.
I'm just gonna let you do that. I got a headache, man. I don't even want to read nothing.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Not tonight, honey.
Yeah, I remember in school, you guys remember when they were pushing the stuff and everybody'd say here, I think it was late grade school, early middle school, and people here and a lot of people go, aquí. I don't know if that's Spanish or what, but
I don't know what that is at all. That must be a southern or a western thing.
I want to say it happened when I was in a school in Ohio, but
Well, Ohio's kind of in its own world anyways.
yeah, it was odd, and I was raised up kind of in the burbs outside of it. Surprised I didn't see Bonnie on here. I left her a message. She left me one that said she wasn't going on, so I don't know if she's all right or.
Okay, I read a little bit of chat. I didn't know for sure, Jen. It just looked the markings out looked like a link to me, and only got a quick flash of it. Hello to everybody in chat.
Is I'm here. That's what it is, Digital Hawk. What language is that? Spanish?
No comprende.
Or who was it said that? Yeah.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah, Aki is I'm here. Did not know that. I thought it was just here, but I guess Aki is two different words.
What is IKEA? What is that? It's a car, right?
There's a Kia car.
Kia car and an IKEA is their cheap furniture shit you buy. You got to put together that gives you the wrong directions for everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about IKEA.
Oh yeah, I remember the memes for that.
Yeah, you're supposed to, when you buy one, you're supposed to, if you pay enough for it, you get a kid with it.
Just here.
I cut her on about.
Hey, Silver. Hey, Hawk.
Hi, Chuck and Carl and everybody in chat.
Hey, Bonnie. I wasn't sure if you got my message or not.
I did. Thank you.
I wasn't sure if I was going to go on, and as soon as I said that, I went over and looked, and 101 was, they were winding down. I figured I'd jump on, but I don't know if anybody else is coming on or not, so I have to tell you how long I stay on.
Well, you and Bunny been like day on, day off now, pretty steady, right?
Yeah. Just finding a hole to be in. It starts jumping ship as soon as people come on, but I know it's a big attention span thing to do with being on here. That if you don't keep it hopping or keep everybody entertained or bad topics or whatever, people jump ship, which I'm the same way. We're creatures of short attention span.
Depends on the subject, I guess.
Yeah, I remember a show used to be on called Short Attention Span.
Oh, you got away from the mic and I can't hear you.
I was moving it. I've had my hand over it. Short Attention Span Theater. I don't know if you remember it. It had a whole bunch of little shorts, like 2-minute movies.
You just reminded me of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Short Attention Span Theater. I have to remember that one.
Hey, Willie, don't you know? Hey,
Hey, Andy, we did not recover your information in the back of chat last time, and Bonnie's been beating herself up for days over it.
I got an email and I need to answer it.
you got an email you didn't answer.
Yeah, I got in Indy's email. She emailed me. I saw her in another chat and I told her where my email was. And so she emailed me. Oh, she emailed you too, Carl.
All right, cool deal. I'll have to check for it. When people email me, for some reason, half of them go to the spam folder.
Oh,
Especially if it's a new person emailing me. They don't, I mean, I'm used to looking in the spam folder now, but those sneaky little bastards are going to screw with you one way or another.
So anybody seen anything exciting or hear anything weird going? I was watching the end of 101. They're talking about a girl trying to get kidnapped. They're trying to take her out of Lowe's. A worker there.
I heard somebody stopped the one. Was that it?
Yeah.
Or somebody stood there?
Tried to get her, but another employee helped. And like, wow, there's too many things in Lowe's that, and another employee, a customer, anybody could stop somebody from kidnapping somebody.
yes. We've had a unusual thing going on in my area all around. There's 2 SUVs and apparently they're going to different stores. Yesterday it was the Dollar General. Today it was the car wash. They're just in one of the convenience stores. They're blocking people in, and then first they were just asking for money, and now they're trying to sell a ring to people. And so in our neighborhood Facebook thing, someone posted about it, which is what that is for, I thought. And so the police officers have been on there just saying, why didn't you call 911? And so I put on there, if I was at the Dollar General and someone blocked me in like that, first of all, I would feel restrained. And if they started coming towards me, I would take that as a threat. I'm not going to pull out my phone. And I said, the officers need to understand the situation that a person is in at that time and what is going through their head with the state of our country right now. Because they were really, one of them, he was being disrespectful to the person that posted it. And
First off, make sure it's a real cop. A lot of fake posers out there like to play cop.
oh yeah, but I'm in a small, we know.
there was a guy around here in this Butte County area for years. He drove around in a Jeep it didn't have the actual markings, but it was made to look like a cop's Jeep. And eventually he got caught pulling people over and stuff, but that's some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, Silver Bee. Thank you. I can finally see the chat.
I'm reading hurt, man. I don't know what this is about. This is a different kind of headache.
Yeah. Well,
Before I came on here, I was just starting to dip my toes into a new rabbit hole, saying that the Apollo moon program went on as a black project after they officially ended it.
Yeah, I read a bunch into that.
yeah, I don't do that. But
Did you see the video release of? All right, so this goes on as a rumor, and then a guy posts these pictures of an Apollo space capsule, and it's identical to the originals in the 60s, only it's not one that we know of. And then he posts another picture of the dash, and on the dash there's a flag that is literally half the United States flag and half of the Russian flag, like melded into one. And then below it, there was a list of 3 astronauts. So there is some things behind this that makes it look like it's actually feasible. Not, oh, well, then again, the government would never do something without our knowledge, though, right.
Yeah, I've seen pictures where they took pictures in the desert of the landscape that was behind different things, that, like when it was showing that sitting there, and all they had to do is change the light.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Pictures of the set. I've also Buzz Aldrin being pissy towards people that were questioning him on stuff.
I saw that one too.
Wasn't it him that went off like saying, the dark side of the moon and aliens, you won't believe what we found? Was it him or was it another guy?
I can't remember which one it was. I remember that, but
there's definitely some disinformation campaign going on there. Conflicting stories.
Well, I've been trying to clean up my email because it's telling me that pretty soon I won't be able to send or read emails because it's so full. And it's the social and the what's the other one called? The junk mails. Those are the ones that are so full because you just ignore them. And there's no way to just touch a button and delete them all at once.
they don't have a little that gets the whole page and then delete it.
No.
Yeah. Are you trying it on your phone or are you trying it on a computer? Because I remember seeing an option on Yahoo and Gmail where you could dump all of them at once on per view page. You could do multiple. I think I had to do something with check all, then delete.
Well, see, on AOL I had that option, but I haven't seen it on Gmail. I don't know.
I was going to say one more thing is I got that warning from Yahoo like 10 years ago. It was like at 500 million emails and I just ignored it. It went away.
There's some of our new young global leaders: Crenshaw, Buttigieg, Macron, Vanessa Carey, Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know, a Crown Prince of Norway, Haakon of Norway, Zoo, whatever that is, and one of the Kennedys. So that tells you what side these people are on, I guess.
And they're at the...
Yep.
Oh,
Isn't
Yeah,
that?
I don't have much faith in those guys.
oh no. Epinephrine recall.
Hey, well,
Epinephrine. Is that is that the drug that's in the nasal inhalers?
No, it's the EpiPen.
Oh,
yeah, for people that have allergy stuff.
Yeah, like the one I have all over the place. um, but going through those, because there's one that's just YouTube. Anytime anybody goes live that I'm sub to, which I have over 700 subs, or anytime I go live, or anytime anybody leaves a message. Well, it's so much that I am missing a lot of messages on my, like after you close the live, people will comment, and I'm sorry if I've missed anybody's comments and haven't responded, but it's, this one was, I had commented on someone else's, and this is the answer I got. I'm not going to give the name for their privacy, but under illegitimate, he says Badista region. We know what that is. It's the potato. And leaders so busy in denial, going woke, obsessing over Crane, Neo, never served in combat, looking to do so, lost many excellent 9+ years in. Soldiers, due to mandates, blessings to you and your family in Jesus' name.
Hey,
Please.
Bushcraft.
So I took that as a good message.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now they got the EpiPens involved in this stuff, so I don't know whether something's actually having problems or they're doing stuff to scare people, saying it's bad, so they don't have that choice either. Just never know with these fools.
And
no, you don't. You gotta, discernment is a meaning that it's more than just like the news. You gotta discern everything nowadays.
yes, and that's exactly what I prayed for, is because we don't know the truth about anything anymore except for God. That's
Hey,
that's
Janet.
where,
And all this dirt that they're exposing on all these criminals, and the criminals are just going ahead with their plans like they're not worried about it. Whatever, you can say all that about me all you want, but I'm still going to do this, and you still got to put up with me for the next how many years. It's like madness.
Yeah, the messing thing what they're doing with Bonnie with God too is all these people are changing scripture and changing the meaning and interpreting it different. Any of it.
I know, and
There's a lot of that.
that's why I'm like, that's where your personal relationship comes in. That's how you build your faith, and that's how you find your peace. And at these times, that's what we need to turn to, because it is frustrating. It can make you angry. It can make you crazy. But and then it's the most frustrating thing, I think, is how do you stop it? Standing up and saying no. That's the only way that it's going to stop. I just saw where they're going after Christians. It's just which has always been the case, because they don't want us to have that faith. They don't want us to have peace. Right now, they're throwing everything they can at us to get us in fear or to lose that peace. And that is what we cannot do. That's where they win. We have to stand strong in faith. I really and truly think that that's the only way we're going to get through this, and with some semblance of sanity.
It's like the devil whispering in your ear, I don't exist.
Do you know there's a song called If I Were the Devil?
Yeah, I've heard it. I think it's been a long time, but was it made after Paul Harvey's?
I don't know, but Aaron, what's his last name? Aaron.
Well, If I Were the Devil was by Paul Harvey in 1965. So is it a modern song or an old one?
I don't know when it was written, but Aaron.
There's Aaron Neville. I don't think that's him, is it?
No, the singer. Lewis. Is it Aaron Lewis? Aaron. What's his first name? Aaron.
Let me look it up.
The one that does like Am I the Only One? Tattoos on his neck. He's really good.
Well, he doesn't have gray hair. He wrote it after Paul Harvey.
Aaron Lewis, If I Were the Devil.
Yes, and that you can play that actually because it is a cover. He is not the original artist, but I do not know what year it was written. We'd have to look that up. I intended to play it last night and I forgot about it because it's pretty good. I just love him. And that's it. Look how many singers, artists are just throwing it out there and saying it all. Tom McDonald and all those people, they're...
What I mean, Bonnie, and it just keeps going on and on and on.
Yes, but there's a reason for that. I really and truly think that something big is coming, and it's gonna take us in the next generation having the guts to stand up for ourselves, that we don't ever let this happen again.
Anybody else that didn't hear me, I'm not reading chat because it hurts right now to read.
I was going to be a smart
Is that what that headache you were having was like, Chuck?
Mine was, it was right between my damn eyes, behind my nose and above it. And it just, certain lights, like one eye, something had bothered, too much dark strain and seemed like, and then it went into that shit went into my ear and it's still sort of there.
I guess I'm going to have to try some Excedrin or something. I don't like doing that.
A lot of times it helps me too when I get them, if I drink a lot of water, guzzle water. So.
That's what I've been doing for the last couple hours, brother. I thought about that too. I had one gal tell me that every
Amen,
time I
Jerry.
felt like I had a headache. Have you drank any water today? Why, no. In fact, I haven't. Thank you very much. I don't know how it's. You ever notice it's easy to drink a lot of anything, except water. Water's like the hardest thing to make yourself drink a lot of.
George kept getting shut
As
down. He still does some lives, but I don't know if he leaves it up. I think he's got another channel now. George may be out here.
yes, and he does leave them up, and it's EOTW now, all capital letters, EOTW. Well, I guess I could go to my phone and drop the link if that's okay.
Yeah. I don't care about links, Bonnie. You know that.
Okay, just
still
making
say
sure.
I still say that dropping the link sounds like one of those silly wedding songs everybody dances to.
I don't
Yeah,
know how you get away out of links.
Bonnie, they're making fish tacos on TV. I know you said that's a sin to you, but Wyatt had it on the
Yeah,
Food Network. I looked over there and they're having a fish taco cook-off.
I've seen the day that Crosby died. I thought he was older. It said he was 82. I thought he was older than that.
I used to like his stuff, but some of his stuff, but I ain't gonna talk bad if he did die, but he was a pretty arrogant POS the last time I heard him talking to people.
It might be why I disregarded him. How long ago was that? It was like MTV days that he did that?
Yeah, that and a little after, into the 90s, beginning of them.
Got vague memories about that.
He talked really bad and down to people.
Oh, it's gonna make me go to. Oh, buddy. It's gonna make me go to subs.
Yes, Cindy, they're making it with mahi. I've had fish tacos with black and white perch before, and for any of it, I prefer steak or shrimp.
Is that what it means, Echo? Links of the chain, ball and chain. Oh. Yeah, I'll catch myself not drinking enough water, and I've noticed it does make a difference.
I'll get up and run and scramble to go get a glass of tea, but I won't for water. I used to keep a gallon of it in here by me, or a half gallon or whatever, and if it's there, I'll grab it.
The colder it is, the better it is. I got into the kick of putting bottles of water in the freezer. Really like it when it's like slushy cold.
That's really bad for you too, because it causes any kind of cholesterol and fatty things in your stomach to ball up, and it makes it harder to digest and process.
Well, damn it! Every time I find something I like, it's bad for me.
There you go, Hawk.
I gotta go get my water now.
Hey, Andy, Jack. Good to see you.
Sorry about that. I went and grabbed me a glass of water while I was talking so highly of it. I drink it room temperature out of my bucket, Berkey.
Yeah, I drink mine room temperature.
Why does a bucket Berkey sound like something a poor man would wear?
What's sad about it?
We are.
She bought her Berkey Scratch and Dent, and she paid like $90-some for it. I spent more than that building this one, but it's 5 gallon. Granted, I think their biggest one's 3 or 4 gallon.
You spent more than that building it?
This original filters I got, I think, were $60. Then I bought a spigot for it, and I got the good stainless steel spigot. And then the buckets, I can only get them in 3, and I think I spent more for the buckets then than they are now. I think I want to say I spent like $50 on 3 buckets because you couldn't buy them in 2. If you bought them in 2, they were like $30 a piece. That's the food grade buckets.
Yeah.
I took a journey a couple months ago just to go buy a camouflage bucket, and they were out of stock. Man, I was kind of bummed out. They advertise it online. You go there and they don't have them. What the?
Yeah, and then I've ended up buying a step bit to drill holes in it. And so it really was. So that's not just a necessity for it. It's something I can use for other stuff. But
yeah. Well, they're going to look at a house tomorrow.
I hope you sell it.
No, not mine. Mine's going to be rented. But the one for Mom's, they're going to go pick it out. And so
Hope you like
I didn't
1
realize.
million, and you get this one free.
Huh?
I said, I hope you're like their 1 millionth customer and you get it free.
That'd
It
be
was
nice.
Let's see. With buying the step bit, I want to say it was like $100, Jerry. But if you look now, I looked the other day, you can get 3 buckets for $37, which you only need 2. And that was on Amazon. It's on the list of stuff. I got all the links to it on my page. It's got the bucket Berkey build thing. And I want to say the filters, I get them that have a fluoride filter that I haven't used. But I got that, the whole setup now. It looks like you can get it, build it for, if you don't buy the drill bit, you can get it probably for about $80. And it's 5 gallon.
Why can't you use a regular drill bit?
You could. I just looked up drill bit and had this pretty one pop up that'd go up to like 1.25 inches. And I was like, yeah, I need that. And it'll snap right in my cordless.
He's a guy looking at tools.
You ought to see me on a Snap-on truck. I used to, back when I was turning wrenches, I'd buy some stupid shit. Oh, they got racing orange screwdrivers. I got to have them. Them other 3 sets don't work as good.
They just weren't as pretty. I know what you mean. Back in the late 70s, Sears had a wish book for tools. It had every tool that they made, hand and power tools. And I would sit there and fill my toolbox and check off the one that I got. And it got down to like weird little specialty wrenches were the hardest ones to find, you know.
Yeah, like one use only thing. This is a bolt wrench for a distributor on a Dodge, or this one's for a Chevy. It only works for that because it's curved certain ways to fit around shit.
I got that one still. That one I still use. It's good for tightening down the distributor clamp. on the Dodge that goes to the back of the engine.
Yeah, they made them for Chevy, Ford, Dodge, and then for certain engines for each ones, I think. Instead of them making a set kind of like crow's foot where you snap an extension into it, they were just all one curved, funky wrench.
Yep, that's the one I got.
Cindy, we've been praying for you. I hope you're doing okay. And so you're saying my pink handled ones aren't any good? Too bad they work.
Hey, Greg, you're what?
They make girl screwdrivers, Chuck. I've seen them.
They have.
They're all pink and purple and stuff.
Matter of
Yes,
fact,
our local grocer had a little tool bag, and it has a tape measure, it has screwdrivers, it has it had several tools. And it was a really good deal, and it was like, and I'm the same way with tools, but I look for the bargains, and so I got it, and it's pink handle, and but I go to garage sales, thrift stores. I get used tools. I haven't bought a new tool in forever and ever, except for maybe a shovel, because somehow the
Well, that's
handles
how I got
always
some
get
of my
broken.
wrenches. Is especially if they disappeared, got borrowed or something. You buy a used one at a yard sale, and you can always take it and get it redone if it's a Craftsman or a Snap-on or something. I don't like Snap-on because those trucks run from you. Once they sell you the wrench or the screwdriver, good luck getting it fixed.
You just got to know where to go.
Yeah, see,
And that's
but the industries have died in Michigan so much to where I don't think they have that many Snap-on trucks. I literally sold all my Snap-on tools and replaced them with Craftsman because of that problem. I was
See,
sick of not being able to find a Snap-on truck.
See, there's the red. There's the racing orange. I got some green somewhere. I'd have to go out and look in my toolbox, but then I got
I've seen the green ones with the black shafts.
Then I got old solid colored. They're hard handles. These are rubber and parts that are just solid. And I think I got yellow and green. And I'm like, why buying all these? Yeah, I used to think after I do it, I was like, okay, I just spent $200 on shit I don't need.
Oh, Benjamin.
We get on
I
it.
quit doing that a long time ago. I do have like 35 or 36 different screwdrivers, but not one of them is exactly the same. They're all Craftsman. I mean, the shaft will be 6 inches longer. They're all different.
Yeah, stubbies or extra long or
yeah, all kinds.
Like this is.
I think.
Yeah.
That's a hose pick for heater hoses. You catch it under that end. You go under from the side of the motor up under the edge of the hose, and you run it in a circle around it after you loosen the clamps, because the hoses usually try to stick on whatever they're on. But we use them on windshields and windshield locks and
Anything hard to get to.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get a toolbox, but it would have to be a big one. And I was like, no. When I get set up, I'm going to get one of those. I don't know what you call them. The boards with the holes that you stick the metal thing in and just hang them on it. That's what I want. And so I can see where everything is.
Pegboard.
And
take each tool, hang it on their body, have to get it all put together, take each tool, wrap it in plastic or something, or tape, and hang it all up on there, and then take spray paint and spray the whole thing, even the tools with that are wrapped up. They unwrap them, and every time something's missing, you'll see a bare spot of what it was.
and that's it. I will know if the girls have taken something and didn't put it back. I can go on my rant because I'm really my tools. That's one thing I'll rant over.
I had to go for. I wanted all of mine as light as possible. I've only got one little toolbox that was my grandfather's,
Hey,
but
Travis.
all the rest of my tools I made canvas rolls for them. So it's the same thing. If there's a wrench missing from one roll, I know what it is. But I did them a little different. Like with a Dodge, you want to have 2 7/16. You want to have 2 half-inch. So there's double wrenches in some of my tool rolls, and then I've got them all in mechanics tool bag. The Army issue mechanic tool bags weren't quite big enough, so I made my own tool bags. Now everything's in a soft bag that if it was to, you're getting into an accident or something, it would be a little less painful to die from. But they still a full canvas bag, 80 pounds. Man, it's like a light kit.
Yeah, I got so many friggin' wrenches in there. I bet I got 150 pounds of wrenches in that toolbox, and that one drawer is like. And I went in there looking the other day, and I found some 10s, and I was looking for a 17 and couldn't find it. So I decided I got a bunch of bags that I'd load stuff in to go work on something, and I probably got 8 of them around here, and they're all full of screwdrivers, wrenches, sockets, ratchets, and whatnot. All back in that box. I even found something
Well, I got a peg.
Sorry, Bonnie.
I'm sorry. I thought a pegboard was the one you put the thumbtacks in. That's why I wasn't sure what it was called.
If you want to hang tools on that pegboard's that thing, it's wood, it's got holes all in it. You buy the little hooks and you hang stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I just want them organized and
your tools are like you're gonna have. I think you can find a pegboard fairly cheap too, and the hooks if they still even have that kind of stuff anymore.
Ours does. Our store does. I'll get.
Yeah, Travis, I even ran into something that I didn't even know I still had back when I was working at a garbage place over here. I got a tripler I bought off the Snap-on truck, and it's for using. You put it on a socket, and we used to use them for torquing down trunnion bushings on the rear ends of them big trucks. The bushings that have, how they got 2 sets of axles back there. The trunnions are in the back there that connect your axles to the truck. And they're like 3,000, 3,500 pounds of torque. So normal big torque wrenches we had only do, I think, 1,200 pounds. So you put a tripler on it and you chain it off to something. And every time you turn the bottom part, it turns the top barely, and it'll put out whatever your torque will do times 3. I've seen them explode too, though. So it's not a good thing either when you got 3,000 pounds of torque on something and it pops.
Yeah, no, that can hurt. I got a scar on the palm of my hand from busting a wrench in my palm. That'll hurt.
I've seen the tripler explode, and I've seen a chunk of that metal flatten one of them semi tires. I better tell you what it'd do to you if it hit you.
Yeah.
Hey, Double Lot.
Well, them semi tires kill people pretty often too.
The what?
The semi tires themselves kill people pretty often.
Our tire guy there, he wouldn't even do the old ones that had the ring on it. They'd send off, had a guy come out there that would do them. He brought his own chain rack and all that. He put it in to air it up.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pretty fancy safety kits for those.
And I don't care where you at. If you're 100 feet away from it, when one of them pop off, it'd still make your butt grab if you ever heard and known what it is.
Am I still alive? Yep. Wait, is there any holes in me? Yep. No.
I've had that happen.
What'd they call them? Didn't they call them, Travis, Bud wheels or something? Bud tires?
And then you see some little 4 foot tall dude down in some third world country doing it with a screwdriver and a ball peen hammer.
I think if I
Damn, it's
lived
so
in New
quiet
York,
here. Sorry, Bonnie.
sorry.
I forgot I left the camera on.
I just said I think if I lived in New York, I'd be getting out.
Huh.
That's
A lot of stupid happening up there, ain't it?
yes.
You know, everybody thinks of New York City when they think of New York. There's a lot of woods and mountains, and it's mostly nice in northern New York. It's really nice.
Yeah, the scenery.
The leadership's still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
City or not.
Was that the Andiracks and stuff up there, like where Lake and them live?
Say that again. I like the way you say it.
Andiracks, or however they say that.
That's how I'm going to say it from now on.
What's it called? How they say it?
Adirondacks.
Adirondacks. And my friends own a chocolate company up there. Adirondack chocolate, or I can't remember the whole name of it. I'm friends with them on Facebook.
I like Chuck's better.
You ought to see the way they spell Natchitoches, Texas, and Nacogdoches, or Nacogdoches, Texas, and Natchitoches, Louisiana. It's almost the same, sort of the same, but ain't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some of that too here in Michigan. You know, like Manistee and Manitoba, and it's just there's a bunch of Indian names. People, they're really close, like a letter off. So.
What's the forgotten island?
Adirondack.
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 Cindy put out there Adirondak.
Staten Island. Okay. Wow.
Well, I never forgot about the island, but I've never forgot about Dorothy Stratton.
No. That fucking weirdo she had. What's her name? I can't think of her name now. She's married to Marky Mark's brother, but she's kind of the same thing. Was found in Canada. She was young by some guy, but she didn't get killed over it, but it's almost the same situation. Jenny McCarthy, that's her name.
Jenny McCarthy got killed?
No, they're just saying that she was found working somewhere by some older guy than she was a teenager and kind of pedophile shit. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that.
I didn't hear nothing. Did anybody else hear nothing? I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, like Wyatt said earlier, we ought to have a discussion about them trying to make it a sexual orientation. I said, no, it's not.
No, God made that choice for us in the beginning. And that's it.
See you, Travis.
Search for truth, Travis. What's up? Again, I'm not reading the chat. I got my eyes closed because it feels good.
That's what a lot of people need to learn too about. Yeah, I walk in there and look and these eggs are that high. I seen a thing earlier that people are complaining somewhere. I guess it's around here that dozen eggs are $5. I said, guess they'd really shit in some of these places where people are paying $11, $12 a dozen.
Yeah.
You know what'll fix that? Nobody buys eggs for a month, and their prices will change.
I know, right?
Somebody put up a meme saying, instead of a ring for a marriage proposal, they're using a dozen eggs now.
Yeah.
But it's
Kind of like my Tony Montana thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for Illinois too.
Yeah, Mom and Dad, we lived over in the outskirts of Cleveland as a kid, and they moved to Louisiana just to get away from the stupid ass, just taxes alone. Cost of living so friggin' high up there.
Well, sorry, Dee, but it's gotten that way here since California has moved in. My area, anyway. But
Raining pretty hard here.
Yeah.
so who's the guy? I keep seeing this picture.
What's that?
Who's the guy?
That's Al Pacino. That's Tony Montana from Scarface.
Oh.
In the movie, he has a pile of cocaine in front of him. He got rid of the cocaine and went to eggs are worth more.
Gotcha. Okay.
I want you to meet my little friend. I can remember my favorite TV movie, whatever, egg scene was in the 70s. When I saw it live and Mork from Ork saw the egg and he picked it up and he threw it in the air and he says, "Fly, little one, be free." And it smashes on the floor and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, I remember that. Here's a picture for y'all. See if your mind went where I went, and it's what it ended up being about.
Oh my goodness.
No comment.
I was like, wow.
Did you see my new icon?
Yeah, I've seen that. I think I got an ironwork thing that looks sort of like that around here somewhere.
That's what that is. I took that picture. It's hanging on my mama's house. And then I just scrunched it down. It's like, yep.
Is it one of them big things? Hell, this one's big as remember the old metal garbage can? It's about that size, big around.
Yeah, it probably is. It's like up at the peak of her house on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I did for my mom. I put a great big one up on the peak of the house for years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, digital, that's what they were referring to. Hillary's is all stomped on, and the other one is all neat, I guess. But I think any of them is dealing in Hollywood. Probably. I ain't gonna keep talking. I'm putting my foot in my mouth. Hey, Lee.
And I'm sitting here with my mouth shut, thinking about all these things I could say.
Yeah, I heard that was staged too. I should have saved what I was reading in the video on it, but I didn't have no interest in her. She makes me throw up in the back of my mouth.
I don't know who it was. And I probably just like erased it from my brain, Chuck. But somebody was in the chat just a couple of days ago saying how Hillary was hot when she was young. I'm like,
you ain't seen them pictures of her when in the early 70s. She had like glasses that looked like the outside of binoculars, and she had like one eyebrow. And
Is her name Greta Wilson? Am I allowed to say that?
did you see that, Chuck? Did you see the video clip of Greta getting arrested, the behind the scenes one?
Yeah, it was all staged out.
Oh, I think they're doing that just to piss us off now.
Yeah, to me, they need to show it's real by head checking them as they're putting them in a car like they did Nancy. And that says I love you, they're bouncing their skull off.
Oh, Greta's a dude. Okay.
Go look up the 1940s, maybe even late 30s German propaganda. You'll see that they look just like Greta, ponytails and all.
That it doesn't like to be associated with its official gender.
What did Wyatt say?
I said that it does not like to be associated with its official gender.
They like pretend. So is everybody ready for the weekend?
Woo! Yay! Why should I be?
Just I'm hearing some bad storms are supposed to come through, and it's supposed to be the opposite whatever we've been getting. So it's been nice and hot around here, so it's gonna probably hell's gonna freeze over, and y'all up there, you're gonna become a desert probably.
Oh boy. Nothing matters but the weekend from a Tuesday point of view.
What they call it when we were in school when the girls had to go ask the boys out and they had that party for it and the dance.
Oh, the Sadie Hawkins dance. My favorite.
Backwards day. That's Sadie Hawkins weather.
Well, that's not happening here. Like next Tuesday, we have a 65% chance of rain, but the temperatures are kind of weird. 50s and 60s, but the low 30s, 40s.
Well, I'm kind of happy it doesn't say like fire and brimstone, because
True.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think Digital Hawk of being a teenager again. I remember when you used to get so excited. Yeah, Friday's coming. And then as soon as you go to work and have a regular job, it's like any day you're not having to go bust your ass for nothing. And then I realize now that I've missed that, thinking my boss sucked, my job sucked. I had a hard day. I miss that so much, being able to go to work.
Detroit radio stations, they all had this like 5 o'clock whistle on Friday. One of them would be like Dick the Bruiser or somebody else going, "It's the weekend!" It was like, you look forward to that, man. It was.
So I saw where, I think it was UK, not positively for sure, but they were saying uptick in heart attacks and strokes because of lack of medical care during the coup. And then Lauren Price is saying 11 strokes or heart attacks every 10 hours at one hospital. And
That's all
so,
pokey related, ain't it?
well, and who knows though, because how many people are to the point of, with everything that's going on, and I could see where that would cause things like that also. I don't know. I mean, but that's an over. That's a drastic change. What she's describing right there. That's like drastic. That's not even your normal amount.
Yeah, 42 here and a low will be 34 tonight here. And yesterday, I bet it rained 6 inches here.
Yeah, everything. It's been raining for days here. Things are going to start floating away.
We need rain so bad.
Yeah, I took Wyatt and left here at 9:30, I think it was yesterday, and but 10-mile ride, 10 miles into the ride, we hit the storm so bad that you couldn't see the hood of the car. It was raining so bad, and tornado warning.
I need to figure out a way for y'all to bus water over here then, because we're just drying up.
It was a wall that came through here, but I guess they don't want to interfere with the border.
That's true, Donna. How are you?
I was born in 65. I don't know if I'm a boomer or Gen X. I heard that's the middle or right on the edge of both.
I was going to say, I think you're right on the line.
Yeah.
I'm a boomer.
That was a really good year.
I want to say it's 45 to 65 is what that was.
Yeah. 45?
Yeah, because Mom was a boomer. She's 45, wasn't born in 45.
See, and I thought the boomers were the hippie time. And that would have been the 60s, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Mom would have been. She was 20 when she had me, so.
Was Ted Kaczynski a boomer?
Not sure. I don't know when he was born.
That was a joke, Chuck. Think about it. That was a smart-ass joke, Chuck.
Oh, yeah. He may have been, though. I think he was older than me. 46 to 64 is what.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
I was just saying, Bruce said 44 to 60. But a lot of these saying 58.
Yeah, I've seen it in multiple spots. They changed it in months and the year. And it depends on the month. And
Well, they're not far from me. My year. We're all. I'm a boomer. Guess that's why I have 6 kids. I don't know.
Dang, you ought to be set in your older years, Bonnie. That many kids, you ought to be set that you should never have to do dishes or nothing.
Well, somewhere along the way, We were programmed to believe that our kids were supposed to go out on their own and make a life of their own and struggle their butts off and get in debt up to their eyeballs and be stressed out for the rest of their life.
And our parents and grandparents, the family helped each other. And
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No matter what the mama said or the grandma or whoever, it was.
Well, look at this chat. I'm just happy to know I'm not the old guy at the party anymore.
I always feel like I'm the oldest.
it just depends if you go by feeling or age. Before I got hurt, I was in my 40s, and I felt like I was in my 20s still. And then overnight, I felt like I hit 90.
Come on, Chuck. Let's get our bikes and ride down to the arcade.
Yeah. Let me go see if I can find my dad's poker jar and get some quarters.
All right.
How many times have you heard one of your friends say that? Mom's got a cookie jar full of change up there.
Oh, you'd have liked me. I had keys to the machines. I didn't need tokens or quarters.
Buddy of mine had a quarter with a hole drilled in on a fishing string, and that's all he ever carried. It got hung up and broke.
I remember those too. We'd find them in the coin slots down there stuck.
I think they made a shear or something put in it where it cut them off after a certain point, didn't it?
They did. They did make a little protector inside the coin receptor system that would thwart that type of thing. We'd find slugs a lot too. People would take electrical slugs off a conduit and then slam them in a press, and they'd be like the exact size of a quarter.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's why they went to tokens altogether, because there was a multitude of different things you could do to a token that was harder to counterfeit, but the quarters were a universal size.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole reason they went to tokens.
Tokens are a little fatter, but smaller than a quarter, but bigger than a nickel. And
Excuse me a minute.
anybody out there want to jump up too, the link's out. Just first time, make sure I know who you are. You're going to have to pop a cam before I let you up.
Yeah, ain't none of those old folks going to jump anywhere. They're just going to like walk slowly up.
That's me too, and I tell all of them around here, and everybody that knows me, see me moving fast, you better not look behind me. You better start moving too. If I'm running away from something with a gun in my hand, something bad's coming.
Real bad.
I found out I still got it when I'm really pissed off or something freaks me out. Because the other night when I heard that loud booming noise, I remember I told you I took a quick step off the steps and flung the gate open and was looking around. I paid for that shit. I took that step I took an extra step and jumped down there and opened that gate, and I was out in the end of the driveway. By the time I got back in there and sat down, I was like, damn, what bus hit me?
I made the mistake of running last summer. Neighbor's dog got out, and I went running out there and caught it. Didn't think, like you said, didn't think much about it till the next day, and I was feeling things, you know.
Yeah, like I come in there and sat down. I was like, how in the hell does one of my nipples hurt? My toe hurts.
What did I come back to?
Remember the other day, Bonnie, when I said I went out the door real quick because I heard a weird noise and I I just off the porch to the ground and opened the gate and ran out the driveway looking.
Yes.
I come in the house and sat down a little while later. Like I said, how in the hell, what'd I do to make my nipple hurt? It's like weird thing. My big toe was hurting.
The immediate suspect that comes to mind is your wife. Just saying.
No, because her comment had been, what do you think that I ain't aware of? Hey, Hick.
No, check.
They say once we get a certain age, you sneeze and fart at the same time, and something could throw out your back and put you down for a month. Yeah, I wonder if I wonder if my wife would find that sexy. Is like walk into the room, hey baby, what do you think of my breast pump? Damn, that's choking me up.
I'm just going to take a minute here of respect for Vicky.
Yep, Jen, 100%.
Was it swollen?
Damn. Yeah, the other day, Bonnie, when that stuff behind my eyes and nose went to my ear, even my earlobe at the bottom was hurt. I was like, how? I'm like, weird things get to hurting and stuff. It's just.
Yeah. Well, there's weird crap going around. All around us.
Yeah, we went over to Shreveport. Was it today? This morning? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. And Vicky was looking up at the sky, and they're up there running the lines in the sky. I'll put it that way. And she's laughing. They're getting sloppy. Look how unorganized they are now. They're just. She said it looks like a 2-year-old got a hold of a Sharpie.
Well, it's probably because they're all new pilots from the old ones dying.
Yeah.
Hey, we can rewrite the words to Wheel in the Sky. No, I don't ruin a good song.
Vicky says she thinks all this coughing we're doing is for smoking these roll your own.
Try drying them. Put them in front of an electric heater. After you roll them, dry that cigarette. It takes all the moisture out. And if I was to smoke right out of the bag without drying, I'd be coughing my ass off.
Good to know.
In the factories, they dry them as they're going through the process. And it tightens it to the paper. It expands the tobacco a little bit, but it also takes the moisture out of the tobacco. Because tobacco is like a desiccant. It'll absorb all the moisture in the air. You pretty much tell the humidity by your tobacco.
Yeah, I remember Dad. He kept his pipe tobacco, and every now and then he'd throw a apple slice in it and pull the old one out of it.
Yep. You do that with weed.
Apple.
Yeah, he said it would
Slice
pull.
that.
He said it'd moisturize it if it was getting dry. If it was too moist, it would, the old apple would pull it out of it. And plus, the lid to his tobacco had this weird looking white rock that was made to the lid of it. And he said that was to draw stuff out too. And he'd wash it every now and then set it out in the sun.
You want to hear some shit, Chuck? I knew a guy back and he did this successfully for years. He'd get a pound of weed, and then he would take a spray bottle with Mountain Dew, fill with Mountain Dew. He put that weed in a big paper bag and he'd sit there and spray that entire bottle of Mountain Dew into his weed. Mist it, shake it around, mist it again. He had a lot of weight to his weed by spraying it with Mountain Dew.
Probably give it a weird flavor too, huh?
You know, it didn't really, I didn't know he was doing that until I caught him doing it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it would make it way heavy.
Dirty tricks of the trade.
Well, I still swear by Halls. If I get those
I got to get some new ones. I took a bunch of those in my medical kit, and I went into it the other day, and they feel soft and chewy now. I got to get new ones.
Just like somebody had it in their pocket waiting for you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a piece of gum from your mom's bottom of your mom's purse.
Night double lot. Chuck, you see AB? Trucking is AB. Trucking is taking a huge downward trend. Get ready.
Oh, interesting. What's up, AB? I'm not reading the chat. It hurts to read right now. I don't know anybody's here till you guys talk about it.
Oh, okay. Then if I see a comment to you, I will tell you.
All right. That'll hurt less. Headaches usually don't bother me like this. It's literally hurting my eyes to try to read something.
It's like your eyes don't want to adjust right either, too, the way mine were.
Yeah, yep. I got up earlier and tried to look at the news and literally like having to refocus my eyes and stuff.
I get that way sometimes.
Look at me just complaining.
AB said this week is the worst he's seen in 20 years plus. 20 plus years. Lincoln, I will. Did you ask him to come up? AB will come up.
What about C&D?
Are you there, Chuck?
Yeah, I was
Hey,
reading.
I hear that.
Oh.
I hear that didgeridoo now.
What is it?
It must be Bonnie. I hear it again.
The link's out there, isn't it?
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
You pinned it at the top.
Yeah, the link's pinned to the top. Let's see if I still
You got it like, even though it's pinned up there, you can't see it till you like click on that.
Yeah. Hey, George.
What's up, George?
Yeah, Jerry Lee. I think that's what they're pulling pretty quick is the fiat.
What's up, man?
Boys and girls, in my lifetime, the things I saw today, we have a load board. It's nationwide. And I generally
you're
don't
breaking
have to.
up.
I'm breaking up.
No, you're
You
good.
might be the car.
Yeah, I think Camo was.
It might be me.
What I saw today, I had a driver. We had some issues with the trailer in the Gallus Tuesday. And I said, let's just pull some dry freight and get back home and get this thing fixed because it's a hell of a lot more expensive on the road. He headed to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Couldn't find nothing. Got into Abilene, Texas. The freight was, I saw shit today that was under $1 a mile and for dry freight. And that's ridiculous. You can't do that. He headed from there. He's in between Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana, coming this way. I saw in California, usually on a load board, there'll be 2,000 loads coming in, 2,000 going out. There was 4,000 loads going into California and 1,600 going out. What that's telling me is folks is going home. I was just on another, listening to a live stream, and a lady posted, yeah, my husband just took a load for 80 cents a mile to get home. Volumes have plummeted the last few days, and rates have went down. Now, I've got friends that work for larger companies, bigger freight companies. They're telling them 6 weeks of this shit. I'm hearing maybe till September. Usually in the business I'm in, the refrigerated business, when it gets to springtime and produce season starts coming in, rates change. Now, let's look at everything that's going on. California, there's a lot of produce comes out there. It's flooded. There may not be much coming out of spring because usually, the first holiday when the man above sun died and resurrected, my mind just went blank. Somebody help me out. Oh Lord, what is that holiday?
Easter.
Easter. I don't know why usually at Easter the strawberries start coming in. If these fields are flooded and stuff, there won't be no strawberries. So it's gonna keep prices down. Also, what's going on, most of our produce comes across the border. The farmers down there around the border, they're having people destroy their crops because of all the illegals coming in. Things are, and I ain't said this, I'm still positive. I don't want to scare the hell. It's not fear porn, but something's going on. I don't know what has triggered all this, but it's all coming to roost really fast, really hard. And I don't know if it's short term or long term. So, but the stuff I seen today was wild, you know.
Yeah, we've had this whole last year, we had shitty crops. They were destroying them, bad crops, no yield. So that tells us this coming up, everything that should have been put in storage, there ain't shit in storage. So, well,
sweet potatoes, I talked to a lady today. Sweet potatoes, this load was paying in North Carolina back down to Georgia like $1,600 to $1,800. Her rate is half that right now, and they're sitting on, with sweet potatoes can last a long time as long as you keep them in a cool environment and no sunlight. And she said they're just sitting on a ton of sweet potatoes. I they're
saw
not moving.
Hundreds and hundreds of square miles of dead corn in the thumb of Michigan last summer. I mean, it was pygmy corn and brown and dead as a doornail. Hundreds of square miles of it.
The corn shortage is probably real because we've got people all over like yourself that's seen that what it looked like last year. But it's definitely out in the West Coast, it's spreading. No eggs on the shelf here. I think I paid for 18 the other day, and they were cage free, which I don't mean nothing. I don't know. I farmed. I don't trust what's on labeling, but they were cage free brown eggs, and they were $6.42 for 18. I've seen pictures of $9 a dozen out west. If they're on the shelves.
I buy the same ones you're talking about in the paper box. I paid like $6.49 or something like that for them.
Oh, that's right. You're down. Well, I was sitting there. You got to be in the south. Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, I'm right over here on I-20 corridor, right there on the edge of Louisiana and Texas.
That's where my driver, and believe it or not, he sent me a message today, Chuck, of all the shit that's happened this week. He blew a brake chamber out in his truck, and he's shut down at a rest area. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I know he's asleep because I had to get some sleep to work tonight. But he blew a brake chamber out today, dead heading back this way.
Huh.
Yeah. Another huge
You guys
chunk of
got
money.
mobile mechanics? You
Oh,
got
yeah,
mobile
but
mechanics?
they rip your ass off.
Oh, I meant company ones. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Listen, I'm just small. It's just always just been me until I leased a buddy of mine on. And he's pulling one of my trailers. But I've always just been a one-person show. I mean, around my house, that's why I stay locally. I've got quite a few people I trust to do work. And, I've got a young kid that reminds me of MacGyver. This kid built a truck from scratch, basically. He's 23 years old. He pulls some wood chips at night for the power plant. And, right now he's been slow. Weather's been, hard getting in and out of some of these places. But he's been, we've been doctoring and fixing lights and just odds and ends shit on my truck that you always got to do. You're always working on one of these things.
Yeah, mobile mechanics now, them some just charge half again as much as a dealership, and the dealership's high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had $4,000 worth of repairs done to my trailer last week.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's absorbing all the... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just going to say, but isn't it odd that all the produce here where I'm at, Central Texas, it's like spring here. We aren't getting no rain. I don't even know how everything's blooming. So all the vegetation is fooled that this is spring, and we know there's going to be a freeze, and then it's going to wipe it all out. But it just seems strange to me that this document was supposedly signed between the three countries, and that the second one is to grow everything here. So is that the goal, is to make us think that we don't grow here?
Wow, there's a lot of background noise on that. Sounds like a hum is going on in the background. I don't know if it's my side or y'all's side. Always for years, from November, we swap over to South American produce, Mexican, whatever. Stuff coming up from Mexico. That's always been, and that's what carries us through the winter for fresh stuff. And South Florida. And South Florida just don't grow much like they used to. The other night, he was in Nogales, which is right there at the border, and it was, I think, 29 degrees. Weather is, I watch Dutch Sense a lot, and he put up something about radar the other day. This thing flashed somewhere in Louisiana. If I'm not mistaken, they were firing this NEXRAD radio, not radio, but satellites, not satellites, but just radar. He said they were refiring this thing back up, and it lit up, and then an hour or so later, he had hail and thunderstorms right at that location. So weather manipulation is happening. There's no doubt in my mind. It's strange weather.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's weird is I've used these Army wood stoves for years, right? And they take a long time to rust out before they need replaced. I put brand new stovepipes on my stove this year, and they're already rusting through.
Cheap Chinese metal. More than likely.
Army issue from the 70s. It's old ones.
Oh, really?
It's surplus. Yeah, they're all the same. That's what I mean. I had a stack of them. I bought pallets of wood stove at one time.
Yeah.
It's the same pipe.
You still getting that hum?
Not as bad. The camo's breaking up.
I'll mute again. I turned the heater on back here. For some reason or other, that interferes with this mic.
Gotta love them frequencies. I do hear it does sound like a fan in the background. I barely can hear it, but it's okay. It ain't killing me. No, it's I've been on several people that I know's YouTube in the last couple of days, and I don't want to breathe the word fear porn. It's just stuff we've been preaching. Get your shit together, because eventually something's gonna, and this may be it. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I've talked to a bunch of brokers, younger cats that sit and study the computer and the analytics of the logistics industry, as we call it today, and they're scratching their head going, WTF, what is going on?
Yeah,
you can only break up stuff. You can only rake up stuff so close to the fire till something gets close enough where it all starts. So
yes.
And that's what we're heading towards, I think.
Stock market is, which I don't really care for it. It's took a dump last couple of days. Debt ceiling's pegged out, which I know everybody's like, oh, the Republicans they're going to fight. No, they're going to raise the debt ceiling again. They ain't got no choice. No, it's a 9-blade sword right now.
Oh, yeah.
Which one do you want? The sharp surgical side or the dull rusty side to finish you off real quick?
Yeah, the cross guard that's like getting cut with old rusty soup can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got. I ain't really. I mean, I've got, because I've been in business so long, I've got money set aside. But if it don't last but so long, especially if you start having major repairs or freight doesn't pick up. Like right now, I've only done 5 or 6 loads.
Because what good's money going to do if they don't have no merchandise?
Well,
it gets to a certain point, you can't eat money. People are like, I don't want that. I want stuff I can feed my kids with.
Yep. Well, that's when we've talked about all these preps, these things that go shebang. Have plenty of those in case it all does get ugly. But I don't know.
You're still driving. I remember as a kid, my dad drove. There's a lot of times he'd come in with big old burlap sacks of potatoes. He said they had this on the load and the bag was untied.
Rejected, yep. I haven't had any. I used to get a lot of chicken. They would reject it. The last time I had some was a whole damn pallet of chicken livers, and I don't eat chicken livers. So I took it to the food bank. I haven't gotten or received much stuff that's, if a bag's busted or something like that. It hasn't happened in quite a while.
Yeah, I remember my dad's buddy as a kid. He goes, climb up in there. He goes, I got 4 pallets of chicken legs and thighs that they rejected. He goes, I'm going to take some home, but go get you some. I grabbed 2 of them. I guess they're 25-pound boxes of legs.
Yep,
watermelons, I remember, and rice and potatoes. And
all day long.
Brown beans.
The last big haul I had was I was in Salt Lake City and got a load of salt. And I've still got, this was probably 8-10 years ago. I've got about 6 of those large containers left of that salt. But I had about 30 of them that I brought home, and we just put them on the shelf. So yeah, but it ain't happening much. Chicken's still moving. I'm sitting here at the chicken plant now. Wait, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
We used to have trucks coming from Valley with watermelons, oranges, grapefruit. They would come through the towns and sell to businesses, as many people as they could. You could get a case of whatever for cheap, like $8.
Yep. Yeah. It don't happen.
Well, up here in Detroit, stuff falls off the truck all the time.
Isn't it funny how that happens? I'm laughing, but I ain't. Stuff falls off the truck all the time, mysteriously. Well, we shall see. I can hang in here for several months and just stay at home and pull the reins back just to pay my bills, because I'm broke. My business makes the money. That's how it's supposed to work. So I can still receive my paychecks for quite a while through my business, but it can't last forever. That bowl of gravy, if you ain't putting no gravy in there, it gets empty.
Somebody's going to need some salt. You can pull some trades with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep, it's
Guess I'm gonna have to go down to the.
Yes, Garrett, it is weird. It's the damnedest thing I ever seen. It's me and another old driver. He's an older black gentleman. He'd been trucking longer than me. He's probably in his mid-60s. I got out and he gave me a broker's name because I may have to take another lane. He gave me a broker he'd been doing business with a long time, and I called her today. That was a sweet potato thing. Sweet potatoes were paying $1,800 to come back down to Atlanta, and they're down to half that. And his jaw like fell. Are you shitting me? I said, no, Bernard, that's what she told me today.
Yeah.
But they're still killing chickens. I keep telling people when the world comes to an end, these chickens will stop. They're still killing them. But it's just cheap to haul. Cheaper, you know.
It ain't the world that's going to end. It's going to be us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You will own nothing and you will love it.
How much profit's left in that, like for a load of them sweet potatoes once you add fuel to it?
Not much, because I'm going up there for a rate of like $1,600. That would basically, there'd be just very little profit, but it paid for your fuel. You know, you're not going negative. You see what I'm saying? That's where you, when you truck, if you go to a good lane, like Chicago was good from Atlanta. Well, no, from Atlanta to Chicago was shit. But when you get up there, because there's so much capacity or volume, you made it up by taking a load back down to Jacksonville, Florida for $4,200. So it leveled out and it was still profitable. But I've seen those rates drop too, tremendously. I mean, it's a cycle also. I saw this in 2008. What it does, people jumped in when Captain T was in charge because things were very profitable. Fuel was cheap, but they had to pay big money to get a truck because you couldn't find them, or trailer, and had big payments every month. That's fine if you're making the money, but when you're out, there's a lot of truckers that are shutting doors. My understanding, 5,000 owner operators have shut down, shut their authority down, which means you're total independent for your company. You have to have authority to book loads and travel across the states unless you're leased to somebody. 5,000 owner operators have shut the doors since the first of the year.
Yeah, last year, that DEF fuel, when they had that problem with that DEF, a lot of people said, well, I'm wrapping it up. That's another problem that finished it.
Well, I don't run, I run older stuff. I wouldn't have a new truck. They're a piece of shit.
Yep.
I never saw the DEF. One time, I think. Yes, it happened up in the Northeast. I did see, but I told people, and they came back out again. I said, I'll believe it when I see it. They kept telling us there was going to be a huge shortage with DEF again and fuel. I've never not pulled up to a pump and not been able to get fuel. It's just, you start bleeding out when you see how much it costs, and it took another jump up again. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's all I tell people.
They changed it from having a hamburger for lunch to a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, with no bread. Just bologna sandwich and a little bit of mustard. Poor man's ham.
Yeah.
Chuck, I'm going to mute and I'll be back. I hear something blowing around outside.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I remember the old man when shit was bad, when he'd get out on the road and he'd have like jars of peanut butter. That's before the trucks had just a sleeper, and he was lucky to have a twin size. And he carried a damn, like a suitcase thing that he kept peanut butter, potted meat, sardines, crackers, all that stuff that didn't have to be cool. And I said, what's that for? He goes, sometimes we get laid over somewhere, they don't even have a water fountain.
He is correct. You always keep, if I got a 7-day, one of the emergency little 7-day kits in my truck, I got cans of soup, which I don't go for. Just because of the environment right now. I mean, I never saw years that states, Pennsylvania does it, maybe Jersey, I know New York. If it snows and they say no trucks, no commercial vehicles, you get caught running up down the road with snow, it's a massive fine. It was always driver uses his own head and judgment to truck down the road in inclement weather. But it's like the Northeast. I can't afford to go up there. All the damn toll roads and how much fuel is. I wouldn't even think they don't pay enough to go up there.
No.
And that's where I'm seeing some of the shortages. Especially, I told people out on the West Coast, it's going to get, when California passed all this emissions, a lot of the trucks are sitting still, plus the AB5 or whichever thing, that they hit the contract drivers. California's in 6 months, it's going to be real bad there. All of, Washington, Oregon, that area. Nobody wants to go up there.
If everything's going into there, that's messed up for the fact that they got all them regulations. What do they do if you break regulations on a truck you're bringing stuff in? They catch you, they get you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which, for anybody who lives on the West Coast, please don't take it personally. I can give two shits if I ever take one can of beans out there. I just can't. I can't, not with their rules and regulations. And I warned people a year or 2 years ago that eventually y'all were going to get slammed on the West Coast. It was going to get ugly. They're just putting they're talking about putting speed limiters on trucks. That decision will be made between now and June. So let's just say every truck can't run with 65 miles an hour. You're talking about a cluster F out on the highways.
And half of them trucks won't even do that loaded or close. And then you're going to have them guys now up there that you're going to be sitting behind. They're trying to pass somebody doing 60 that they're doing 61.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take 10 miles to get around. And you're going to have trucks backed up and build up.
Then they're side by side. You got these doubles, trucks pulling doubles and all that. We call them wiggle wagons.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. They tag each other. Them back trailers will get to wobbling. It's just dangerous. When I see stuff like that, I either slow down or I get the hell away from them. I get on the fuel and get away from them, put them behind me.
I seen a FedEx doing that the other day, and my wife was like, "Why are you riding on the edge on the middle?" And I'm like, getting around and.
Yep. Just keeping enough room to make what do we call it? A evasive maneuver in case he gets over in your damn. I see it all the time. Plus they're messing with their phones and that's why I only run at night. There's less of them out here. Like tonight, I talked to a buddy of mine. He's up in Tennessee, works for a freight company. He said, "Man, there ain't hardly any trucks on the road." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's slow tonight. Been slow. It's just been real slow here the last week or so."
Yeah, you get away from the kids. I've heard that they're under 30s are crazy anymore. The stuff they do, they drive them trucks like they're in a little sports car. And I see it, and they'll pull right out in front of you just because they're bigger. And 9 times out of 10, you go by them, and it's some young guy.
Yeah. Doing some dumb shit.
That's one of the things we've been watching for, though, is a shortage of trucks on the highways. Because I knew once we saw that, we're in trouble.
I'm not seeing it across I-20 out here, but that's one of the major thoroughfares.
Yeah, it's keep an eye out next week or so. You'll probably see the less. I mean, it's when you're out here every night and you know what it looks like every night, it doesn't take much to realize it's a little slower. Like I'm pretty sure when I go up to Greenville, South Carolina, once I get on the interstate, I'll notice it tonight.
I've heard a lot of people saying running from Little Rock up to Nashville, going up through West Memphis used to be bad. And they said now you hardly ever see a truck.
Yeah, it's 81, 77 going up north. I remember when I first started, it was just 2 lanes, and it'd just be just trucks at night, just everybody hauling ass. That's been 15, 18 years ago. And it's, I don't know. Again, I don't want to scare people. If you've been doing what everybody's been preaching for the last several years, pack ratting, hoarding up, supplies, and when it was cheaper, and like I got 3 or 4 freezers full of meat. And I'm starting when I go see price, I just go back and get something out of the freezer. So I'm starting to dig into my reserves a little bit. So
you got to cycle them sometimes though too.
Yes. I've swapped over and started buying as much as possible the dried foods because of the lasting of it, how long they last. But it is costlier. But yeah, I rotate all my canned goods and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got beans in there I need to go through. I ain't got as many as I had because I told the boys to start using them. But my rice, I'm down. I probably had a couple 100 pounds of rice in there. I don't anymore. I probably got 60. 100 maybe. I need to get more, but there's 4 of us here. There's one of our kids, he won't eat it, but I said, you will.
When you get hungry enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off here, boys and girls, and as this thing develops, I'll be flipping around with people just trying to, either give you some positive
Appreciate
news,
it, Obi.
real news. I'm not going to tell you no bullshit. If I do make a mistake, I'm always one to come back and say I was wrong, but we're going to see how this pans out.
Yeah, you got the butcher's perspective on what a porterhouse looks like right now. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, AB.
Y'all have a good evening. Stay safe and don't take any wood nickels.
You're welcome anytime, man.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye. I've heard a lot of shit's weird everywhere. In California, the stuff they're pulling, they're going to end up where, like he said, nobody wants to go there. And they get busy about it. They can. Well, half of them voted these people in what control they had over it. And now they support it. So either support these ones that are doing bad and starve or try to do something about your problems.
So have they started unloading at the ports again? Because I remember where they weren't.
Not sure. I know it went a long time with nothing going in and out. Stuff was sitting waiting here and lines of them out there in the ocean.
Yeah. But with the flooding, and that's all in the farmlands, they're going to be hurting.
That's what I think a lot of this storm stuff is. Like stuff's come through here yesterday. That storm front went through it. It probably reached from here to above Missouri, maybe into Illinois. It was just that long, and it was kind of to the north. It was further east, and the west. It was kind of going through it, like a hash mark almost, or an exclamation, or not exclamation, but anyway, it was sideways a little bit. It was rolling slow, but parts of it was moving fast. Hell, tornado warnings, flash flood, and all that was hitting here.
Goodness.
And it went all the way down. It was, I want to say it was down as far as Waco, what I saw, but the news didn't show it down any below it, and I didn't go look. But the tornado started at center, or Carthage, working their way east towards Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm going to jump down to Tug and fry me up some corned beef hash.
That sounds good. I don't feel like digging. Make you a couple of runny eggs to eat with it.
Yeah, I like to fry it where it's crispy, man. I like it like crispy patties of corned beef hash.
Yeah, I make it crispy. I end up stirring it in, but it gives me them little crunchy spots, and then I fry me a couple of eggs and have them runny and pop them over it.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks. I'll see y'all somewhere soon.
We'll see you later, Camo. I'm going to drop to anyway. It's been 2 hours.
Right on. Thanks for being up here.
Take care.
See you later, bud.
Nice.
Well, I'll drop down, Bonnie. If you want to talk for a minute, we can talk in the back.
Okay.
Appreciate everybody coming. Love y'all. Y'all are precious. To everybody. Needs to look out for each other. Make sure you try to make amends. Anybody you got to make amends with, at least you be the only one trying if it comes down to it. Always remember, everybody's special and nobody's more special than anybody else. Y'all have a blessed night. Love you. Good night. Bye.